Hi, my name is Catherine Huck and I'm a chartered physiotherapist. And physiotherapists look after the health of the chest of a patient. So there'll be a lot of physiotherapists working in hospitals now helping patients when they've succumbed to the COVID-19 virus and helping them to get air deep into their lungs. And that prevents a pneumonia beginning, which is an inflammation of the lung. We need to fill the lungs deep down into the bases. So if you do come down with this virus, it's important that you do deep breathing exercises. Practicing them before is going to serve you well, so that when you are feeling a little bit breathless and you're feeling quite unwell with flu, then you'll be able to do them more easily. So what often we do when we get flu is obviously go to bed and pretty much lie on our back. Unfortunately, that means the lungs are not filling properly, and the lungs are a lot of the lung is at the back of the chest. So all the ribs cover the lungs, and the ribs go round to the back as well. So I want to talk about different ways of breathing deeply. So normally when we take a big breath, we'll sort of lift the chest here. That's how we traditionally think of a big breath. A big lift of the chest. Okay, that's fine, but it's quite inefficient and it's only a small area of the lung. So we have an area deeper around here. We call this we call it lateral costal breathing. So it's breathing deep into the bases of the lung. Now, I usually teach this using the hands. So you take your hands, put your thumb at the back, so you feel your ribs at the back and the fingers around the front. So you've got this feeling of your ribs under your hands. Now, that's not possible for everyone. It depends on the mobility at your shoulder. So for those who can't manage that, we're just going to use a belt or an old tie. We're going to put it around the lower ribs. So make sure you've got that feeling of bones and you're not round your waist. You want to feel you're just under sort of what we call bra strap level. So you guys are going to have to use your imagination. So putting it around the ribs, and I want you to pull the belt or the tie fairly tightly so you're squashing your ribs a little bit. And then take a big breath against that pressure. Okay, then exhale. So I haven't moved here. I haven't gone up here. I want you to push into the sides of your chest. So push the belt or your hands hard against your ribs. And then take a breath against the belt. So the belt will open up. And then squeeze the belt, squash your ribs a little bit. We get something called recoil then, so big breath. And exhale. One more time. And exhale. Okay. So I'll show you again with the hands. So if you're doing it with the hands, you've got your thumb at your back, your fingers at the front. You're on the low rib cage. Okay, I'm going to squash my ribs a little bit with my hands. Push in and then inhale. So my hands went outwards, laterally. And then I can push in. Okay, one more time. And then exhale. Okay, so that gets the air right down into the bases of the lungs. Now, if you sit back in your chair, just rest back slightly, put your hands on your soft belly, at the top of the soft belly, not down here, a little bit higher up between the ribs, that soft area. Let your shoulders relax and see if on your inhale, you can make your hands come out. So what you're doing is the diaphragm is a big dome, and as it lowers and flattens, it's going to make your tummy stick out. So as we inhale, the hands come out, and then exhale. Push your hands in a little bit, you'll get that feeling of how it should come back out again. And again. One more time. And exhale. So practicing that, maybe you're going to do it lying on the bed with your knees bent up, practicing breathing into the belly, gets the air again deep down into the lungs. And finally, as I talked about in the beginning, we have this huge area in the back that fills with air, and that's the area where often we get these pneumonias at the back here. So I'm going to just use a chair. You can use anything you like. You can even turn yourself on the chair you're on if you can manage to do that, and just lean forward over the chair and then take a big breath and think about the breath being across your back. So it takes a bit of practice. So you exhale and then inhale. So your back rounds and the chest opens at the back. So maybe you never imagined that you had air going back there, so it takes a while to find that area and recruit the muscles that create that motion. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see it a little bit better. So maybe you're leaning against a chair or something in front of you, the kitchen table with a cushion on it. You can put your head down and you take a big breath into your back. So right across the back of the body. Inhale. Great. So if you do become sick and you get these flu-like symptoms, you know to make sure you don't just lie on your back and not think about where you're breathing. It's really important to do these breathing exercises, and unfortunately there aren't any physiotherapists in the community that are able to come and see you, so it's important you know how to do this before you get sick. So hopefully you won't, but if you do and you're in bed with flu, you need to make sure you're breathing properly. So lying on your front, lying on your side, moving around as much as you can, not spending too much time lying flat on your back, sitting up, taking big breaths, prop yourself up with pillows. So doing as much as you can to move around and keep this air deep into the lungs. I hope that was helpful. Thank you.